Hi, this is BremSter, and this is the next puzzle in the Quads on Parade puzzle pack. This puzzle is called Sextant by dumediat, and you may notice the grid looks a little bit different because we need to put digits outside the grid. Not in every cell, but in many of them. So we need to figure out what it is we're doing in order to place these digits. So let's have a look at the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So within the white grid, we need to place the digits 1 to 9 in every box, in every row, and in every column. We've got the quadruples rules. So around these quadruples, we need to place the digits that appear in the circle must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching this circle. Now, in these quadruples, the black cells don't actually exist. So we've got to put 1, 6, and 7 into those 3 cells. We've got to put 9 at least once in here. Not sure where yet. 6 at least once in here. 8 goes at least once in these cells. Now, sandwich. Clues in grey cells outside the 9 by 9 grid indicate the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in their corresponding row or column. Now, we can do this for every single row or column, or every single grey square, but the ones we have to worry about are the ones with restrictions. So, for example, we will have to follow some sort of rule with what numbers can be placed in here. And the numbers that are in here are going to follow sandwich rules. And the numbers here are going to indicate the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in these rows and columns. Same will be true here. So this will be interesting to see how it goes. And then Kropki Pairs, numbers separated by a black dot must be in a 2-to-1 ratio, and numbers separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Doesn't say digits. So that's an interesting thing to pay attention to. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So we do know these are 1, 6, and 7. And you can never put 1 into a sandwich clue because the sum of the digits between the 1 and the 9 have to be valid digits, or the sum of valid digits. And if the sandwich clue was 1, then between the 1 and the 9 you would need digits summing to 1, but the only way you can do that is with a 1. But the 1 can't be between the 1 and the 9 in the row or the column because the 1 and the 9 are the crusts. The minimum you can have is 2 by using an individual 2. So neither of these are the 1. This is the 1, and 1 is a crust clue, which I like marking with yellow. Now, one of these is a 6 clue, one of these is a 7 clue, which must be at least 1 in length. And one of them must be at least 2 in length because I can't put 2 9s in the box. So this couldn't be a 6-7 pair and put 2 9s here. So one of these is a single cell probably. Because I don't think I could do 6 and... Yeah, maybe I can. 2, 3, 4, 5. If I add... maybe. Like I could put 2, 4 and 3... No, No, I can't. One of these is a 9. And the reason for that is if I did a 2-cell 6 sum, I couldn't use 1 5, it'd be 2 4, and then I've got no way of making 7. I couldn't use 1 6, I couldn't use 2 5, and I couldn't use 3 4. So one of these is a 9, but I'm not sure which, and I'm not sure which way it goes. Now, these are 1, 6, 8, 9, and I can't put 1 or 9 here. This is a 6 or an 8. Actually, I think I do have to figure this out, don't I? If this was a 2-cell 6 clue, or if there was a 2-cell 6 clue, I'd have to use an individual 7. If it's a 2-cell 7 clue, it couldn't be 1 6. If it was 2 5, the 6 clue could be a 6. Yeah. One of these is a 6 or a 7, is all I know. Maybe I don't know that. Does this tell me anything? Okay, let's look at this black dot. Let's look at that black dot. What can go on a black dot? It has to be a digit or a number and then it's double. So I can only use This can't be a 9 because there's no digit that can go here that is double or half the 9. So this is 1, 6, or 8 because it has to be, this is within the grid. So I could go 1 to 2. I could go 6 to 3 because I can't halve 1. 6 would be 3 because I can't double it, and 8 would be 4. So this is only 1, 2, 6, 3, or 8, 4. But I can't use a 2, so there's no 2 here, so there's no 1 here. This is a 6-8 pair, so 6 and 8 both come out of those, and those both become crusts. These are not crust. That's interesting. That's a really amazing way to find crusts. I like that. And, oh no, I can tell that there's no 1 in any of these by quadruple, but I can't say that about 9, so I can't say none of those are crust. None of these are crust because the 9 has to be in one of those. None of those are crust. How do I get this rolling? I think it's more about this 1, 6, 7. If this is the 6, this is the 9, and these sum to 7. There has to be a 9 in one of these two. Because I can't make a 3-cell 6 or 7 clue. So one of them is a single, and the other one has to be a double. Because the minimum 3 digits could sum to is 2, 3, 4, which is 9. So there's a double. So there's a 9 in one of those two. So if this is 1 and this is 9, this is 1, this is 9. So if 1, 9... Hang on, if this is 1, 9, this is 9, and this is 9. If this is 9, then this is 9, and this is 9. Can that be 9? This would be 8 or 10. One of these is a 9. So one of these is 8 or 10, and they can be 10 because on a black dot, remember these are values or numbers rather than digits. So a 10 here could put a 5 here. But one of these has to be a 9. Is that doing it? And I'm just not seeing it. If that's a 6... This is 8, 4. If that's 8, this is the 6. And this is a 3. There must be a 9 in one of these two. Because if I put the 9 over here, then this can't be a 6 or a 7 sandwich. The 9 is in one of these two. So none of these and none of these are crust, which means there's a 9 in one of those two. If this was crust... This has to be low. Oh, not really. Whatever goes there, one of these is the same as one of those. Because if this is a 9, with this being a 1 or a 9, then that digit is the same as that digit. And the same is true here. If this is a 9, then this digit is the same as that digit. But they could be 8. Like 9, this could be 8. Oh! Right, so whichever one of these has a 9... Oh, that's disturbingly clever. If this is the 9... So remember, one of these has to be a 9. So one of these is a single digit, and the other one is a double. Because I can't put the 2 9s in the box. So, if this is the 9... And the logic reverses. If this is the 9, this is either 8 or 10. But with this being here, this is the sandwich clue. If this is the 9, it would, whatever is here would have to go here. And I can't put 10 here. So this would be 8, making that 6. If this is the 9, then what is here has to go here. But it has to be consecutive with 9. So this would be 8, and this becomes 6, and this becomes 3. Either way, one of those is an 8. But this is the 8. And one of those two is an 8. But that hasn't locked down which way this goes. It does put a 6 in one of those two. Because a 6 here would have told me which one of these was the single. I know there's an 8 in one of those two. And there's an 8 in one of those two, and therefore there's a 4. Oh no, it could be a 16. There's a 4 or a 16 in one of those two. Huh. How do I figure this out? Is there a way of narrowing this down? If this is 1, 6, 9, the 7 couldn't be 1, 6. It could be 2, 5 or 3, 4. If it's 1, 7, 9, the 6 is 2, 4. If this is the 8, there's an 8 down here, which works for this. If this is the 8, there's an 8 up here. Is it this? Could be 1, 2. Can't be 2, 3 or 3, 4. Could be 4, 5. Can't be 5, 6 or 6, 7. Could be 7, 8 or 8, 9. But if this is 1, 2, that's the 9, and that's the 9. Therefore, that's the 1, and these are both 8. If this is, can't be 2, 3, 3, 4. If this is 4, 5, I've got no restriction. Except 4 goes up here somewhere. It's got to be something more about these sandwiches, which I'm not seeing. This would be 8. So this would be 4 or 16. And same here, 4 or 16. So is it sandwich in this column? Like, I can't put the 1 and 9 in here, but I could... span this, because I can put a 0 there, and I could span this. So I don't have to... If I put it here, I could then put the other one here and span this with the 16. Although, the one that gets the 8... and goes 8 with the 4 or the 16, has the other one there. So these all become green. So the 4 or the 16 would be down here. These would be 1, 9, and the 4 and the 16 would be down here, or the 4 and the 16 would be across here. But I could go 1, 4, 9, I think. Is it this? I'm lost. I am quite lost. I can see if one of these is a 9, I can't go 10 because that becomes the crust. So it is 8 and 8. If this is 9, 8, 1, what's this? If this is 9, 8, 1, this couldn't be 1, 2. It couldn't be 2, 3. It couldn't be 3, 4. It could be 4, 5. Couldn't be 5, 6. It couldn't be 6, 7, 7, 8. So this would be 4, 5. So if this is 9, 8, 1, this is 4, 5. So we'd have 1, 2 would be in here. 3, 4, 5. This would be 2 and 7, and it can't be. If this is the 9, this 2, 7 and that consecutive dot are what breaks it open. That's crazy. If this is the 9, if this is the 9, this becomes the 1, and these have to be 8. This is 9, 8, 1. The only thing that would be possible here, I couldn't do 1, 2 because the 1 is here. Couldn't do 2, 3. Couldn't do 3, 4. I could do 4, 5. Couldn't do 5, 6. Couldn't do 6, 7. Couldn't do 7, 8 because the 8 is here. And couldn't do 8, 9 because the 9 is over here. This would be 4, 5. These would be 1, 8, 9. These would be 2, 7. This would have to be a 2 or a 7, and it can't be. This isn't the 9 here with the 1 here. This is the 9. Sorry. How did that work? If this is the 9, this is 9, 1, 8, and that doesn't work. This is the 9, this is the 1, this is the 9, this is the 8, this is the 8. That is crazy. This is 4 or 16. So this isn't the 9, this is the 9, this is a 6 or a 7. All of these are not crust. These are not crust. This is, no, what am I talking about? This could be anything. But this is a 2-digit 6 or 7. Those two in concert, that's a tricky spot. Fun though. This is not crust. And this can't be a 0 because that would make this a 1 and it can't be. So this can't be crust either. The 1 is over here somewhere. That's really cool. This can't be a 2. That was really cool. 8 is up here now. 4 or 16. These are not crust. What can this be? It can't be 1, 2. Well, 1 is in one of these two. So these are not crust because of the quadruple. I can't put 1 here. 1 is here. So these are the crust. These are not crust. The 1 is in one of these two. 9 is down here somewhere. This can't be 4, but this one can be. But, okay, so what could this be? Actually, it could go 6, 12. It could even go 7, 14. It could even go 9, 18. Oh, that's weird. So this is not as restricted as you might think. So this, because this had to be consecutive with this, it had to be 8 or 10, and it couldn't be 10 because it had to be a single digit. This is at least 10. Well, it can't. This is at least 2. So this is at least 11. I'm broken. I'm broken. No. No, I'm not broken. This already sums to 9. If this was any higher than 9, this would need to be, like, these are consecutive. If this was any higher than 9, I couldn't put anything here. The highest this can be is 10. And that would need this to be a 9, and it can't be. The highest this can be is 9, and it's already 9. That is a 1 crust. Oh, that's beautiful. This is 9, which is those, and this is consecutive with 9, which the only legal thing I can put in is 8, because I can't put 10 inside the grid. So these are 2, 4, 5, 7. 7 isn't consecutive with anything. 2 is not consecutive. So 4 and 5 come out of those. These are a 2, 7. That's beautiful. And this is 4, 5. It was 4, 5, whichever way it went. That's beautiful. 6 I know is in one of those. 4 is now up in one of these 3. Because 4 can't be in any of those because of the 4, 5, and it can't be in any of those because of the 3, 4. This can't be 1, 2. It could be 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Can't be 6. So there's no 7 in there. There's no 7 in there. That's the 7. It's so neat. 8 is now outside this quadruple clue because of this 8. So there's an 8 sandwich somewhere along here. But this 9, well, this can't be 4.5. This is an 18 clue. And this has to be consecutive with 18. So it's either 17 or 19. Well, hang on. What are these? They can't be 1, they can't be 2, they can't be 3, they can be 4, 5, they can't be 6, they can't be 7, they can't be 8, they can't be 9. Can't be 1, can't be 2, can't be 3, can't be 4, 5, can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. These are 4 and 5. So these are 2 and 3. So 3 is in one of these 3 digits. These 3. And these are 2, 7, 8, 9. I don't need to mark that, but that's what they are. Okay. Now, I actually might want to mark this differently. This is an 18 clue. Actually, no. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is an 18 clue, but I'm going to mark it with a color, like purple, to indicate that this is actually a sandwich clue that I know the value of. This is a 6 or a 7. I don't know which. There's an 8 sandwich somewhere along here. You can only do it in an 8 sandwich. You can't do it with 3 digits. 2, 3, 4 is 9. So you can't do it with 3 digits. So if it's a single digit, it's just an 8. And I would need a 1 and a 9 separated by an 8. If it's 2 digits, I could use 2, 6 or 3, 5. But I think I can do that. 3 is up here somewhere. 1 is down here somewhere. I need an 18 along here. Now, if I put a 9 here, can I do 18 in 3 digits? 8, 7, 6 is 21. I can make it work. And this is 17 or 19. One of these is a 1. So one of these is an 18 or a 17 or a 19. If this is a 1, this is a 2. That would put 2 down here and make this a 2. Does that work? 1, 2? Don't see why not. I would then need 16 along here, which would mean the 9 would be over here and the 9 would be down here, which would mean these would need to sum to something which I think I could do. There might be some tricky math around here. I've got a maximum of 3 digits down here. Hang on, I can't put both 9s over here. So one of these has to be 3. I can't do 18. I can't do 17, 18, or 19 in 2 digits. So I can't put a 9 here. The 9 has to be over here. Because whichever... No, that is not true. Because I could put a 9 here and a 1 over here. So I could go 9, 1, and then 1, 9, and that would work. No, I can't. Wait a minute. 1, 9 over here would allow 1 and 9, and that could work. But the outies would be too long, wouldn't they? No, I could do it in 4 if they're low enough. But these are 2, 7, 8, 9. There has to be a 9 in here. But I don't have to put it here. I could do 9, 1, and that would work, because there is a 1 over here as well. I think that's me barking up a tree of madness. This is 4 or 16. If it's 4, this could go 9, 4, 1, or 9, 4, 1, or it has to. If this was 9, if this is a 4, there's 9, 4, 1. If it's 16... I need to do it in... Can you do 16 in 2 digits? No. Hang on, how do you do 16? You'd have to do 3 digits, and I'd have to do something like 4, 5, 7. And this would be 4, 5, and this would be 7. And this would be 9 and 1. So if it's 16, these are the crusts, because you can't do 16 in 2. Because there's no crust available. So the maximum digits are 8 and 5, which is 15. So if this is 16, these are the crusts. If this is 4, it's a single digit 4. And that couldn't be the crust. So this would be the crust. So the crust would be here or here. So what I'm saying is either here or here. It's actually not telling me anything. I need to know whether... So this could be 7, 4, 5 with this being 9 and 1. Or I could go 1, 4, 9 here with that being a 4, or 1, 4, 9 here with that being a 4. And I can't see which of those is broken. But if this is a 4, what's this? That's the problem, maybe. Because that would have to be 3 or 5. This would... If this can't be a 4. If this was a 4, this would have to be 3 or 5 to be consecutive. But how would I do that? To be a 3, this would have to go 1, 3, 9, and I can't do it. And if it's 5, I couldn't go 1, 2, 3 because there's to do it. The only way to make it up would be 2, 3 because I can't use 1, 4 and I don't have a 3. The only other way to do it would be 1, 5, 9 and I don't have a 5 available. That can't be a 3 or a 5. That's not a 4. This is a 16. And to do 16, I can't do it in 2. I have to do it in 3. Those are the crusts. This is the 9, this is the 1. These sum to 16. So how do I get to 16? Now, 4, 5, 7 is possible. Well, what are these digits? These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 7, and 8. If this is an 8, these would have to sum to 8. I couldn't use 1, 7. I couldn't use 2, 6. I couldn't use 3, 5. This can't be an 8. So if this is a 2, these have to sum to 14. I could use 9, 5. If this is a 7, these have to sum to 9. I couldn't use 1, 8. I couldn't use 2, 7. I couldn't use 3, 6. I could use 4, 5. But this is 2 or 7. But that was fascinating. But now this 18 comes into play, doesn't it? Because I can't do 18 in 2 cells. That's not the 1. If this is the 1, that's a 2, and the maximum this could be is 7. That is not the 1. That's the 1. And that is the... Oh, this is elegant as heck. Now I need 18 going this way, but I can't do 18 in 2 cells. 18 is 3 cells, and this is the 1. 18 in 2 cells. I need 9 and 9. The maximum I can do is 15. I've already discussed that. If this is a 2, these would need to sum to 16. And I can't make 2 different digits sum to 16. There's no 2 there. So now is it this 17 or 19? Because I know 9 is down here somewhere. This is fascinating. I know these sum to 16. So the digits outside a sandwich clue sum to 35 because an entire column of a Sudoku contains the digits 1 through 9. That's 45. When you subtract the crust, you're left with 35. So when I subtract the 16, that's 35, 29, subtract 3, these have to sum... No, that can't be right. 35 minus 16 is 19, minus 3 is 16. These sum to 16. Those sum to 16. Without an 8 or a 9. The maximum I could use is 765. 765 is 18. I can't use a 3, so I can't... I think this has to be 467. No. 457. I think it has to be 457. Because maybe I can do this instead. 16, if I don't put a 2 in here, this becomes 457, and that works. If I do put a 2 in here, these sum to 14. No, I think I'm barking up the wrong tree here. I'm very lost. I think this is where I'm supposed to be looking. I think this column is where I'm supposed to be looking. I just can't do the math. These sum to 16. Maybe I got the math wrong. These sum to 16. If this is a 7, these sum to 9. I couldn't use 1, 8. I couldn't use 2, 7. I couldn't use 3, 6. These would be 4, 5. This is a 7. These are 4, 5. If this is a 2, these sum to 14. I could use 9, 5, 8, 6. And I couldn't use 9, 5. This would be 8, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've placed everything. So that's not actually helping, is it? Or I might want to reach for a calculator to get some help here because I think I'm a little lost. I think I've broken my brain on the math in this column. Because 35 minus 16 minus 3 is 16. So I'm actually going to bring up how to do 16 in a 16 in killer in 3 cells. And then eliminate ones that are not possible. Because my brain is melting, and so I can't use anything with a 1 or a 9 in it. So 169, 178 goes away. I can't even read this at the moment. What is wrong with my eyesight? Let's zoom this in a little. Let's make it 150%. 259 doesn't work. Now 268 would. 349 doesn't work. 358 doesn't work because I can't use a 3. So the only options I've got are 268 or 457. I can't use 268 up here. This is 457. I was right before. So this is the 2 and this is the 68. It was this 8 that did it, of course. So these are, they're not 1, they're 2, 3, or 4, 2, 3, and 6. And that means there's no, of course, 2 here. This is a 7, 8. This, of course, is not crust. And these are 4, 5, 9. I don't know why I got so lost on that. Sorry, everyone. It happens. But this has to be a 17 or a 19. And it's all of this. So what I want to think about are what are the outies? Because it's 35. So outside of the clue, I need 35 minus 17 or 19. Now, even if I make it the biggest possible value, 35 minus 17, minus 19, that's 16, which I can't do in 2 cells. So I need 3 cells outside. That's the 9. And these sum to whatever, but this is either 17 or 19. This could be 2, 3. It could be 3, 4. Can't be 4, 5. Could be 5, 6. I don't know. There is a 9 in here somewhere. This is quite tricky. There's my 16. I still don't have this sorted. Six is in one of those two. So that's not a 6. This is not crust because it sees 1 and 9. 1 is in one of those two. 9 is in one of those two. But that's not really helping me. 1 is in here somewhere. 9. I don't know. So this actually is 15. No, that's it. Because this is 15 or 17. But the 9 is down here. This is already 15. If I add 4 to it, this has to be 15. Because I need to add, if this was 17, I'd need to make this 15 plus 2 before the 9, and I don't have a 2 available. That's the 9. That's the crust. There's no crust here. This is so clever. There's no 9 here. So this sees 1 and 9. That is not crust. This is not crust because it sees 1 and 9. And there's the 15. 4 is now up here with the 3. Can this be the 9? This would be a 4 or a 5. I don't see why not. Like I could put 4, 5 here, make that the 9 and make that the 9. Or I can't put 4, 5 here. So if that's not a 9, that's not a 9. But, I know 3 and 4 are in there. So what are these? This can't be 1. It could be 2. It can't be 3, 4. It could be 5. It could be 6. It can't be 7. It could be 8. So it's only from 2, 5, 6, or 8. If this is 2, this is 3. If it's 5, it's 4 or 6. It can't be 4 because of that. It's 6. If it's 6, it can't be 5, so it's 7. And if it's 8, it can't be 9, so it's 7. This is only 3, 6, or 7. These sum to 18 because that's the 1. So how do I make this work? If this is a 7, these sum to 11. Now, I can't use 9, 2. I could use 8, 3. I can't use 7, 4. I can't use 5, 6. So if this is a 7, these are 8, 3. If this is an 8, these sum to 10. Couldn't use 1, 9. Couldn't use 2, 8. Could use 3, 7. Couldn't use 4, 6. There's always a 3 in here. This is... Wait a minute. Let me try that again. If this is an 8, this needs to sum to 10. Can't use 1, 9. Couldn't use 2, 8. Could use 3, 7. Couldn't use 4, 6. If this is a 7, these sum to 11. I could use 3, 8. Can't use 2, 9. Could use 3, 8. Couldn't use 4, 7. Couldn't use 5, 6. There's always a 3 in here. So there's no 3 here, which means this isn't a 2. Oh, there was... And these, if this is an 8, this is 3, 7. So this is a 3, 7, 8 triple. If this is 7, this is 3, 8. This is 3, 7, 8. So what are these? 2, no 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I can't put 2 on here. This must have an odd digit on it. It's got the 5, making that the 4. There's no 4 here. This is a 5, 6. That's the 2, making that the 7. This is bonkers good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 3 and 4, making that the 5. This is a 6, 7, 8. No, but 2 and 2 makes that 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6, 7, or 8. And it contains the, hang on, 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's correct. And 6 is down here. But this needs to work. And this needs to be 17 or 19. This is mind-numbing. This is 17 or 19. If it's 17, these need to sum to 10, and this would be 7, 3. If it's 19, these need to sum to 11, which would be 7, 4, or 8, 3. That does seem to work, doesn't it? 17... No, hang on. If this is 19, these need to sum to 12. So if this is 17, these sum to 10 and is 7, 3. If this is 19, these sum to 12 and is 8, 4. So this is either 7, 3 or 8, 4. Seven, 3, yeah. 8, 4, 3. I can't tell which. 8 would make that 7, which puts 8 in there. Yeah, that all works. 8, 7, 8, 6, 7. Yeah, that just works, doesn't it? So this is 7, 3 or 8, 4, and I can't tell which. And this is 3, 7, 8. So the 18 is done. Still haven't figured this out, which is melting my brain. If this is a 1, this can't be a 1. Oh, no, it could be. That could be the 8. If this is a 1, this is the 8, and I need to make 8 down here somewhere. But I think I can do that. 1, 2, 6, 9. Don't see why not. 1, 3, 5, 9. Don't see why not. 1, 5, 3, 9. Again, that seems to work, doesn't it? Oh, that can't be a 3. But 1... Hang on. So if this is an 8, it goes this way. If this is an 8... That's an 8. And this is a 1, 9. This would be a 1. This would be a 9. And that's broken. That can't be an 8. If that's an 8, how do I do it? Because I can't span this. So I can't put them both here, and I can't span this because the minimum here is too high. So the 8 would have to be here. This would have to go 1, 9, 8. This would be 1, 9, 8. And then, sorry, 1, 8, 9. And then this would have to be 1 and 9. This is not the 8. This is the 8. And I can't send the 8 in this direction because 8 is done in 2 cells from this one because there's no, I can't go 1, 8, 9 or 1, 8, 9. So this can't go 1, 4, 4, 9, and it can't go 1, 5, 3, 9 because the 3 is over here. It goes this way, and that is the 9. Holy cow, Doomjot, how do you do this? So this is either 2, 6 or 3, 5, giving me a 5, 6 pair. These are all not crust. How do you do this? This is not crust. Seriously, this is amazing. Okay, had a family crisis. You may notice from the light at the window that it is later now than it was by several hours. I may have forgotten to color this. I did have to recreate the grid because when I came back, we had a power outage, and for some strange reason, the grid hadn't saved. Everything is all over the place. So yeah, I've recreated this from the point in the video where I had to stop. So this is where I was up to, but I don't have the ability to backtrack or anything. But according to the video, what I'd done is I just figured out that the 8 had to go this way. So, what can I do now? So this is 18. This is 3, 7, 8. This is 16, which is 2, 6, 8. This is 15, which is 7, 8. This is the 8. This is the 9, which is the 6, 3. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Because this here is either 17 or 19. If this is 17, these have to sum to 10. If this is 19, these have to sum to 12. So this is either 3, 7 or 8, 4. I may have already spoken about that. I don't know. So I know 6 is in one of those two. Still haven't figured this out. I know 7 is in one of those 3. I wonder if there's a naked single somewhere. If this is 3, 5, 3 is here. And up here, if this is 2, 6, 3, 3, no, that's not it. I wonder if what I did down with the 9 here, the 8 down here, I can do with the 9 up here. Like, if that's a 9, where do I put the 9 sandwich clue? Yeah. If this is a 9, where would I put the 9 sandwich clue? I couldn't put the 1 and the 9 here with 1 and 9 because that would be a 0 clue. And if I put one of them up here, then this can't sum to 9 because it's at least 4 digits. That can't be a 9. So this is the 9. So the 9 is in this column, and a 9 is 3 or 4 digits. Now, for it to be 3 digits, it needs to be 2, 3, 4, but it can't be 3 digits. It's 2 digits in one of these directions, and the minimum here is 11 with 5, 6. So this is the direction of the clue, and this is the 9. And this is not the 9. 9 is down in one of those two. But this is not part of the sandwich. This has to sum to 9, so this is 4 or 5. So there's no 5 here. This is even, so this has to be odd, which means this is the 8 and this is the 7. This is the 6. There's no 7 on here. This is 3, 8. These are the same digit and it has to go down here. This can't be a 4. 4 is up here. Why do I have 4 up here? What? Because 4 is in this pair and on this quadruple. If this is a 4, this would be a 4, and I couldn't put 4 here. So this can't be a 4. That's a 5, that's a 4, that's a 5. And 4 is in one of those two. The 5 takes 5 out of there. There's the 9. There's the 8. This 5, 6 pair. This 6, 8 pair. Well, that can't be a 9 because of that. So 9 can't be in any of these 4. That's the 9. So that is the sandwich. But it's not relevant because these could be anything. But 3 and 4 need to be in here. Well, so that's the 4 now, because the 4 can't be in there. So that's the 4, which means this is the 5 and this is the 4. The 5 makes this the 6, and for the 8 clue, the 6 makes that the 2 and that the 3. The 6 looks up making that the 5 and that the 6. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 6, 3, 7, and 8. Well, there's no 7 there. There's no 8 there. Because of that 8, not because of that 1. Now this. Right, if this is 17, because this is 17 or 19. If this is 17, this would have to be a 2. Because this is already 15. This would have to be a 2. So this is 19. And we're at, so this is the 4 and this is the 3. So that is now 19. So there's no 4 here. In fact, 4 in box 1 has to be up here. So this isn't the 4, this is the 4. The 3 is looking down, making that the 7, taking 7 out of there. This is a 3-8 pair, making that the 6. Looking across, making that the 8, making that the 6. These are 1, 2, I've got 3, 4, 5, and 7. 1, 2, 5, 7. There's a 1, a 5, and a 7 already there, so that's the 2. I take 2 out of those. This is 1, 5, 7. The 7 takes 7 out of those. That's the 7. So these are not on the... And the 5 looks down, making that the 1 and that the 5, and that right there is the crust. So this isn't the 1, this is the 1. So that is crust. That 1 says that's not the 1, that's the 1. That is crust. This is not crust. I may have forgot to colour that when I recreated the grid, but now I've got all the crust clues and I can get rid of the green. This is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. The 8 is looking down, making that the 5 and that the 8. These are 2 and 3. 3 8 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 4 and 6, but I can't put 6 there because 6 has to go on this quadruple. So this is the 6, this is the 4. Or I could have used that 6 to knock 6 out of all of those and put the 6 there. So this is 3 or 8 for the column. 4 takes 4 out of there. 4 takes 4 out of there. This puzzle is amazing. Ah, the 7 is looking up, making that the 6. So this is the 6 and this is the 7. Now these have to sum to 7. They're not 1, 6. There could be 2, 5. They can't be 3, 4. So these are 2, 5. Which means this is the 7, this is the 4, this is the 5. The 5 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and 7. There's no 4 there. There's no 4 there. That's the 4. This is a 3, 7. The 7 makes that the 3 and that the 7. The 3 looks down, making that the 2 and that the 3. The 3 looks across, making that the 2. I take 2 out of those. The 6 looks across, making that the 3 and that the 6. These are a 3 8 pair for the row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 and 7. The 7 makes that the 2 and that the 7. Wait. There needs to be a 3 around this quadruple. That's the 3, that's the 8, which makes that the 8 and that the 3, which make that the 8 and that the 3. And I may need to check. That's not the solution. Wait, what? Oh, I know. What I might need to do is change that to be a lowercase 9, this to be a lowercase 8, this to be a lowercase 6, this to be a lowercase 7, this to be a lowercase 9, and this to be a lowercase 8. Yeah, there you go. This to be a lowercase 8. That's the correct solution of the puzzle. These aren't, because they're not part of the puzzle solution. I'm not sure if I should set those to be large digits or not. See, it's always tricky when that happens because this is what you need for the solution. Not sure. I think people will be able to figure this out. But this is the correct solution to the grid. See, I had to reset the grid. I hate that, but it's a really good puzzle. That was amazing, Doomjot. Thank you. Oh, well, thank you, everyone, for engaging with the pack so far. I think this is actually going to be a trek. It's quite tricky, so we'll see how it goes. But thanks, everyone. I hope you're enjoying them. And as always, good luck with your solving.